What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're for episode 6 of our Madden 23 Pink Slips franchise. This is the off-season special, and it is going to be a good one because we are going into a draft. You know, once you get Pink Slips going, once you start stacking up a roster, the draft's not as important as it is in like a traditional franchise mode because your team's already starting to have like your superstars, your clear-cut starters in like the big prime fun positions. So it's, you know, in Pink Slips, the draft is not your only way to improve the squad. It's just different. You're trying to compare apples to oranges. Point being, the draft early on in Pink Slips is when it's huge because, I mean, we set a roster cap of under 70 overall when we started this. And the fact that there are dozens and dozens of players that are 70 and above in the draft, those guys are going to be impactful starters for us here in year 2. So this is going to be a very, very important draft for this squad. And hopefully we get a lot better results. We ended the last episode on all Madden. We got absolutely hammered. So we made the decision at the end of the last episode that we're going to go into year 2 of Pink Slips on all pro. This is supposed to be the fun series. And if you want to see, you know, all Madden content, go check out the Panthers franchise mode. So before we kick off the offseason, let's take a look here at our stats just to see who did what and how everyone stacks up. I think we're going to see some pretty rough numbers offensively, maybe some good numbers defensively. Malik Willis, in his first year as a starter, 3,400 yards passing, 19 touchdowns to 27 interceptions. I mean, we absolutely had some stinkers. We had some games that got away from us, and there was just way too many turnovers. Overall, it's not really that surprising of a year from Malik Willis. 744 yards, 5 touchdowns for Nwangwu. 500 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns from Malik Willis. I mean, you're definitely seeing that there's a player in Malik Willis. It's just, he's not going to be able to be dominant right away, at least while we were playing on all Madden. Maybe if we did the whole year on all pro, we'd have some slightly better stats, definitely less turnovers for Malik Willis, but he's still firmly our franchise quarterback. Like, I'm not going to be looking for a QB in the draft. From the receiving standpoint, we have 56 catches, 960 yards, 3 tutties for Derek Young, 664 and 3 from the Olympian Devin Allen. Nwangwu had 500 yards at the backfield, 494 for Alec Pierce. He was, you know, credit to him. He was here the shortest amount of time of our wide receivers because we obviously got him from a victory in season. Bellinger here as well. You know, thinking about the offense, just looking at all that as it relates to the draft, because we don't sign free agents in Pink Slips. It just doesn't really make sense to sign any free agents. So, you know, we probably could use a playmaker out wide. Always can use more speed, because a lot of our speedsters have fairly little catching, all things considered. We definitely could be looking at a tight end, potentially. Maybe a legitimate power back to complement Nwangwu. But I don't think we're looking for a quarterback, and I think, you know, we have Pierce at wideout, should be solid. Derek Young maybe builds off of this year. Maybe we have a chance to, when we look at the award winners, some of these guys, you know, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, get some dev trade increases. That would be pretty awesome. Looking at the defense, Troy Anderson, ridiculous season. One of my favorite players that I've ever used. Like, I need to find a way to get him on the Panther series. He's that damn good. He feels, you know, equal to Roquan Smith, because those are like my 2 main linebackers here so far in Madden 23. And he's a 73 overall. Roquan's like 95. He feels, you know, in the same air code. 131 tackles, 4 TFLs. He had a sack and 6 interceptions. We had ridiculous numbers from Leo Chenal, 58 tackles, 18 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, 16 TFLs, 6 sacks for Amari Barno, 10 TFLs, 4.5 sacks for Cam Good. Hecht had 11 TFLs on 3 sacks as well. So, I mean, I was happy with our pressure, all things considered. Interceptions were good, as we saw with 6 picks. Troy Anderson, 5 for Zion McCollum. We had 4 for Tariq Woolen. I mean, just really good numbers across the board. Happy with those. Kicker of the year, maybe. Didn't miss a single kick. Tucker McCann. Punting, they had a couple gongs. 9 gongs and a 60 punts. Not the best. Not my best ratio. Needs to be said. How that relates, our team, quickly looking at the rest of the world. We have, I mean, more so, this will also show where the top players are playing. Tom Brady just beats Tua by 4 yards to be the leading passer. In terms of touchdowns, 44 for Josh Allen, who's doing his thing for the Carolina Panthers. 43 for Mac Jones and the Falcons. 43 for Tanny in the Bucks. T-Law with 42. Tua with 41. Okay. Running the ball, Derrick Henry went over 2,000 yards. He probably did a lot of that against us. That's a hell of a year. Nick Chubb on the Seahawks. We got Zeke, Josh Jacobs for the touchdown standpoint. 26 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, settle down. On the receiving end, Hunter Renfrow easily walked away. What? How is it that one-sided? 140 receptions, 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. Literally bogus. Bogus numbers from Hunter Renfrow. Thielen at least tied him on the touchdown front with 18 as well. Defensively, Miles Jack and Patrick Queen tied atop with 150 tackles. On the TFL front, we got 32 TFLs on 27 sacks for Aaron Donald. An all-time epic season from him. That is absurd. 20.5 sacks, Tank Lawrence, 20 for Nick Bosa. You know, someday when we're looking at all this, it actually will feel somewhat attainable, like we're window shopping. Like, oh yeah, look, Chase Young's going off. Can't wait to take on Carolina and try to win him. Like, that's coming. We're going to get there eventually for Pink Slips people. 7 picks, Stephon Gilmore leads the NFL. Troy Anderson at number 6. On the dot, the only guy with 6 picks, second in the league. That's cool for a middle linebacker. Feels pretty nice. Seeing that, we got Tariq Woolen up there at 4, making the list as well. So for the yearly award winners, again, we're probably going to be hoping for something in the offensive rookie, defensive rookie discussion. Josh Allen is the MVP in the... Let's see. No. Obvious winners. Desmond Ridder. Damn it. Derek Young at 4. Devin Allen at 5. Alec Pierce at 6. Malik Willis at 7. Malik Willis is... It was going to be tough with the amount of turnovers he had. But if we don't get Defensive Rookie of the Year, that could be rough. Because that's the one I was counting on as a win. But yes, first and second place both fall on our Pink Slips team. Troy Anderson. So that looks like he will be up to a star dev by the end of the season. Leo Chenal, runner up. Zion McCollum at 4. Barno at 5. Tariq Woolen at 6. So the young studs on the defensive side of the ball. Absolutely. Oh, no. We got to show respect. We got to show respect to the kicker. We might have got kicker of the year. I actually don't know if those go up dev trade. That could be interesting to see. All right, so we got for quarterback, Tua, Zeke, Adam Thielen, Wyatt Teller, Aaron Donald, Harold Landry, Stephon Gilmore. Yes! Give my kicker a dev trade. All right, conveniently enough, both of our award winners have upgrades. First, the kicker that did not miss a single kick. He's actually close to getting to a 70 overall. Lucky for him. 69 is a way cooler number. We get 1 kick, actually. No dev trades. I mean, maybe you got to make the Pro Bowl. It's totally believable. Kickers don't go up dev traits. It's probably the same with punters. This is the one. If he's not a silver boy, if he's not starred up, I'll be a little bit frustrated for Troy Anderson. Heart and soul of this team so far. And yes, he was correctly awarded with a dev trait increase. Oh yeah, it might look a little different. Let's go, the green. I've never seen the menu so green. Looking at the season recap here from year 1 of Pink Slips. Jets defeat the Panthers 35-21 on the back of the rookie Desmond Ridder. Wins the MVP. That is just ridiculous type scenario. Good to know, man. Sky's the limit for our team if they can do that. As dev traits are concerned for our squad, as we clean out our lockers for the offseason, Valele already had a star dev, so we already knew that. No one on offense went up dev. I wasn't really expecting anybody to be in the ballpark, but our defense sure as shit. I was surprised just based off his stats. Troy Anderson didn't get the double, like go up to star from his stats and then go up to superstar because he got defensive rookie of the year. But he's star. Leo Chenal had a ridiculous year, massive TFL, 7.5 sacks, goes up to star dev. And McCollum, who had 5 picks, Tariq Woolen, who had 4 picks, and he is a team captain, also go up dev trait. So I think having 4-star, going from having only 1-star dev player on the entirety of the team, which was Falele at left tackle, to having 4, just adding right through how well our team got their ass kicked and how bad our offense was to put our defense out on the field for that many snaps. We got rewarded with 4 silver devs. That's great. So just to meet a couple prospects before we get into the draft, we prioritized pass rusher and wide receivers just throughout our scouting. And as you can see, some decent wideouts, but there is a gem. Dwight Simmons, UDFA, 2nd, 3rd round talent. We decided to just really check him out after we saw the combine, where he probably had the best combine out of any of those wide receivers. They look like the best. 5th in the 40, 2nd in the 3-cone, and 6th in the 20. It just ticks off all the boxes. And 2-3, I don't know, it's probably gonna be like low 70s, high 60s, maybe pops a dev trait, but he looks pretty dope. Got a tight end, John Cates, projected to go rounds 3 or 4, 6'6", 256, giving me B catching, A run blocking, and the combine also checks out. He had the second fastest 40-yard dash for tight ends at the combine, second in the 3-cone, first in the 20-yard shuttle. This guy looks like a monster. The pass rushers, we have a little bit on the big side. Like, I don't think you could rock and roll with him in our scheme, honestly. Spencer Curtis, A blockhead, B tackle, and he comes in at almost 300 pounds, running a 4.70 at his pro day and putting up 40 reps on the bench. This very interesting athlete. Just at 295, I don't know if he's going to be the best scheme fit. We have two other pass rushers here. First, we have Mick Pierman, who I'm glad graded out as a top 5 true talent. We're going to have a high pick. We might even have the 1 pick, honestly. But the combine wasn't anything ridiculous. So I'm glad that, A, combine stuff doesn't always mean that's like how you can find the good player. And B, well, that's very useful that we scouted that, because we won't pass on it if he potentially is still there. But we have Daryl Foote, if you want to look a little bit more on the athletic side, also graded out as a first rounder. If we wanted to look at corner, we have Rayshawn Linton out of Maryland, 6'2". I mean, if you're getting a corner in pink slips, it better be height, weight, speed, and that is exactly what he brings. And this guy, honestly, even if I pick at 1, he might have to be my pick. His name's Cade Weiner out of Ohio State. Like, is that not what we have to do for pink slips? Even though safety, I mean, he would start for us if he's a good player. B hit power, B man coverage. And I was just like, man, like literally, I was like, don't have a good combine. Don't make me have to draft you. And of course, he's ridiculous. So we got 3rd overall. I would say, I didn't think we had the first pick. So first overall goes Emmett Whiteside, left tackle to the Cardinals. Second in the draft goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, goes Pierman, the top 5 pass rusher. I think that makes it clear to us. Under no circumstance should a safety be valued this way. But when their name's Cade Weiner and you're playing pink slips, it's the pick to make. For the love of God, have a dev trait so this isn't absolutely terrible. Mick Weiner is the first ever pick for the Mexico City Golden Eagles. Into the second round, we're thinking with our head here. Best player available is going to be Leon Tolliver. It's guard. It's not a sexy upgrade, but the fact that he is easily the most can't-miss prospect on my board. And I'm comfortable in that 3rd round we'll be able to get a pass catcher of some sort, be it a tight end or a wide receiver. And we always have that UDFA guy, that wide receiver that we can get in the 7th round. This is such a freaky player. For the love of God, also give me a dev trait. Yes! Leon Tolliver, right guard. Pops with a dev. He's going to be our freaking Larry Allen. In the 3rd round, John Cates. Just keep lining up the freaks. This was our top target. I was a little bit worried because he was the highest rated tight end remaining. Still here in the 3rd round. Get a little tight there. 8 late 2nd round. Thought we had to trade up, but it's not really pink slips trying to trade up. But there's another guy. I'd be absolutely shocked if he does not pop with a dev trait. And we're getting robbed here today. Still should be a pretty decent player. 6'6", 256, 88 acceleration, 86 speed. Our favorites list is just freaks at this point. We'll start with one of our 2 monster D tackles. If you ever find these guys in your draft class, they're going to be good. I've never seen one that's below a 70 overall. We got 2 of them. I might draft both of them back-to-back rounds if I have to. First, I'm taking a look at Brian Wilkins out of Oklahoma, 6'2". We'll round that up, 360 pounds. We got B tackling. He almost runs a sub 5 in the 40, 39 reps on the bench press. He's going to be our little mini Jordan Davis. Of course, we can't get dev traits because that's just how it is, but very impressive 95 strength. Here are my last 2 freaks. We'll kind of use them just to close up the draft. They had the best combine. So we'll go Dwight Simmons, who ran a 4.30, the 3-cone, the 20-yard shuttle. Just an incredibly explosive athlete. Projected UDFA, scouted to a round 2-3 talent. No dev trait, but he is bringing a ridiculous 98 acceleration, 90 agility, 91 change of direction, and 97 speed to pink slips next season. Going back to it with speed in the secondary, height, weight, speed, Matt Samuel, 6'2", and it helps that he had 3rd in the 40-yard dash, top 5 in the 3-cone. I was like, all right, value. That's just value right there. And the final round, we'll kind of round out the tight end room. Dylan Price. Guess why I'm drafting him? you know? Take a look at our draft recap here. I was expecting pretty high ratings, all things considered, because we did not get a lot of dev traits. As Leon Tolliver, our second round pick, the guard at USC is the only hidden dev player. Cade Wiener, 75. That's a great base rating. Solid wiener. That's a solid wiener, man. Would have liked there to be a dev trait tied to it, but that's going to be a day one starter. Leon Tolliver at guard, 73 with the hidden dev. That's also likely a day one starter at guard. And I think that this is going to be something that, you know, all these guys. Kate's 75. We might need to start thinking, you know, maybe we got to shuffle around some of these captaincy badges, some of these protected players. These drafted guys are going to come in and be some of our top players. Across the board, John Cates, 86 speed, 80 acceleration, 77 catching is not too bad, and he can kind of block. I mean, he can't be almost 6'7", 260 and not really just be able to get in the way. Brian Wilkins, 70 normal. He is our 360-pound defensive tackle. Dwight Simmons, 71. This guy was projected to be a UDFA. It wasn't like we did hardcore sniffing around to unlock him. He was very fast. He stood out at the combine. But the fact that this guy was going to go UDFA, 97 speed, 98 acceleration, 74 catching kind of sucks. But, I mean, still relation to some of our starters that we have. Maybe he eats into the Olympians reps every now and again. Matt Samuel, the height, weight, speed corner, popped 67. And then the last pick, I probably could have went fullback or like a special teamer. Try to preserve no picks going below a 60 overall. But we'll keep it in there. A little bit of a black eye. But the rest of the draft class, well, you know, a couple more dev trades would have been cool. You know, we got Cade Wiener. Now, I'd hate to leave you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger before we get in and get some gameplay with our brand new relocated Golden Eagle squad, but I am unfortunately going to have to end the episode here, as again, I am in kind of video prep period ahead of a hurricane, so doing this will already cover another day that I might be down and out. So there will be one more episode before I'm all said and done of the Pinks list. We're going to go through the preseason. That is 3 opportunities to try to improve the squad ahead of our first full season with Mexico City. So make sure you guys tune back into that one. Thank you for all the support again. Some of these uploads, you know, I'm working with the conditions that I'm dealing with, but my number one priority right now is to make sure you guys have uploads for however long I am out of commission, because literally every time I check like the news, it's like this is going to be like the worst storm to ever hit Canada. So I have no idea what to expect. I'm just trying to do everything I can to prepare for the worst and get as much content out to you guys, because I don't know when the next time you'll see me is. So thank you guys very much for watching. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Slowly but surely try and get our way to 160,000 subscribers on the channel. Make sure you smash that like button as well. I like to hit 1,000 likes on all of our Madden 23 uploads. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you think is going to be the best player from this draft class? I think I know, kind of, maybe, sorta, out of everybody on this draft class, who you guys are going to gravitate towards the most. I don't know why it's going to be Cade Wiener. Is it because he was our first overall pick? Maybe it's because he's such a great athlete. Maybe it's because he's playing and rocking Brian Dawkins' number. Maybe. Is it because Keith Taylor sees Keith Taylor in Cade Wiener? Maybe. Okay? But I will have to unfortunately end this one on a cliffhanger, fellas. But I will have another episode up before too long with some gameplay from the preseason. So again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.